Hey, what's up, YouTube? Enforcer5150 here, and today I'm going to do another tablet review and unboxing. Mainly, yesterday I went with the Fire 10, which is a Kindle. I went and I unboxed that. I tried it out. I did a little bit of a review of it, and it really doesn't fit what I need for a tablet. Main things was that the apps and everything were just lackluster, I guess. Not having Android became a real problem for me, and pretty much everything that I want to do with it, I was having problems with, and I had to go through hoops. It's kind of like you may really like Mac OS, but there's a lot of stuff that just won't run on it. It doesn't make Mac OS a terrible operating system. It's just it's not the core of the developers workforce. Um, so what I did is I went and I got the Insignia 11.6 Flex. Has a 2 megapixel camera and the back, so the front camera, face camera, it's two megapixel, and 5 megapixel for the main camera. So it's kind of lower quality than a lot. Like my phone, I think is 8 or 9. I can't remember. 11.6 inch screen, 32 gigabytes of space, and it's expandable with an SD card. So we're gonna go ahead and open this up. Let me find something to open this with. Guess I could get a little bit more prepared. I'll just use one of these Allen wrenches. That's what Allen wrenches are for, right? uh, but yeah, I mean, I really did like the other tablet, the Kindle Fire 10. It works really well with anything Amazon, but if you don't have everything Amazon close to you, it kind of devalues what it can be used for. When you look at the back real quick, so this one has a 1366 by 768 IPS panel. I do like that it's IPS panel. The resolution's a little bit lower than with the Fire 10. That's the one thing I really liked about the Fire 10 is that you had a full 1080p, and you could go up to, I think it was 1200p. So you had a lot more resolution, but let's face it, at this size, that's not going to matter that much. So it has a G Center, has stereo speakers, which the other one used Atmos, which is kind of surprising. Micro SD card up to 3200, which that is really low. That part I don't like. Um, so maybe I'll have to do this one, but it does have a USB Type C, so maybe that will make up for the storage problem. Let's go ahead and open this up. Really nice packing job. So right out of the box, we get a important information. Just basically your normal troubleshooting stuff, safety information, stuff like that. And then we have, for some reason, oh yeah, this is just a quick start guide, which pretty much comes with everything, let you know what's all on it. So that's not, I mean, the one thing I do like about this one is that it has a keyboard, and that was kind of the selling factor between this and the Samsung that I was looking at, was around the same price. This one is larger than the Fire 10. 11 inches. It might be a little bit too big for it. I mean, it's basically going into being just a laptop at that point. But at the price, I think it was 145. So the price was not bad. Alright, so we have our power cable here. Looks like USB Type-C connection, which is a little bit different than everything else I have. So if this breaks on me, I have to go get a whole new cord. But USB Type-C is actually becoming the norm now, and I can probably see a lot of other companies kind of following suit. Alright, so now the meat of everything. I don't think there's anything else underneath here. Nope. The rest is just filler, and no, actually I was incorrect in saying that was it. because this is definitely, there's definitely something in here. Yeah, that expandable part I'm not happy with. That's, did not know as all the space that you could do on there. Like the Fire 10, I think it was 256 that you could expand it to. Only being able to expand to 32 kind of gives a downer. All right, so right now we have the keyboard. It's pretty much what you expect out of like a laptop keyboard. Um, the buttons aren't like completely smashed down to like there's no push to it. I actually this is not bad. It's basically, it has a pad and everything, so that is not bad. All right, now let's get to the meat of this unboxing. All right, so we have a very large screen. So we got a pretty decent camera in front. It's a single. The camera in front, that was a 5 megapixel on this one and 2 on that one. Plus and minus for volume. Micro SD card, USB Type C input, mic, and regular 1/4 inch or 1/8 inch jack for headphones. In the back, it has 2 notches, which it looks like that's going to be for the keyboard, and then a connector, which will connect to the pins here. There's little tiny pins there that it slides into. You take a look. All right, so you take a look here, and you can see that there's these pins kind of rise out, and then we have these little things, which looks like they're kind of like magnetized. I didn't notice this, but there is a USB on the side of here, and there's a USB on the side of here, so you can connect it with maybe you can connect it to another laptop or something like that. First thing we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and we're just going to boot it up. Looks like we do have some power, so that is a pretty decent piece of hardware. That 32 gigabyte expansion, I didn't know that was all it's going to be. That might be a breaking point for me. That might be the nail that hit the head. Very sturdy. It doesn't have that matte finish that the Fire 10 had. So it does. It feels a little bit weaker, I would say, a little more poorly constructed. All right, so looks like I'm gonna have to try to close this in real quick. I think mostly you need to connect it with those notches. And there we go. And then you have yourself a laptop. Not bad. And sorry I'm a bit hot and sweaty looking today, because I am freaking hot and sweaty today. It's hot out. I just got back from this. So it has a 5G connection. It has USB Type C, but I'd only be able, if I want an external device to connect it to it. It has the USBs. So having the USB 3.0 is good. Having the USBs on the side is definitely going to be kind of a contributing factor to how I interpret this, because you can't really install stuff onto there. I install a lot of crap, and usually I just let it sit on there. So having only expandable 32 gigabytes is kind of a bummer to me, but I kind of get it when you're using a something like this. You don't really need that much space. Alright, so I was realizing I was running out of time here, so let's go ahead and do a little bit of review. I've gone ahead and I installed the SD card and everything. Pretty much the looks of everything of this, you have your USB slots on the sides, the speaker holes right there. The construction is a little flimsy. It's not horrible. I do kind of like it has a little bit of a matte, kind of like wood grainy type thing here. And the only thing that I really have to complain is that like the construction of it itself seems really, kind of weak and very fragile in comparison to the Fire 10 that I had before. The other thing, obviously, is that micro SD slot. The maximum supported is only 32 gigabytes, and that's terrible. You have your microphone, your headphone jack, and the USB Type C. I noticed one thing that in the USB Type C that it definitely is a lot faster than you would see with other types. It has that speed of 10 gigabits per second, and here I was doing a transfer to the tablet and it wasn't going the full 10 gigabits per second. I was probably getting maybe less than half that, maybe a fourth of that. I was. This is also running from an older hard drive, so I think I was just more limited by the hard drive than anything. It took about 5 minutes, and the file was about 8 gigabytes. So it's lower than the Type C that you would normally see. But if I had an SSD that I was running it from, it would definitely go a lot faster, and I'm pretty sure of that. So with the laptop part of this, or the keyboard, I should say, it's pretty much just like your standard laptop. It doesn't really have the two buttons on the bottom for your left and right, but it does work if you're tapping on the right side or the left side. You can also just tap it as well. The keys themselves were actually really nice to work with, a lot better than a lot of the um, detachable keyboards that I've seen in the past. As far as the screen goes, the resolution is lower, and I'm not too worried about having super high resolution on such a small screen. But as far as the construction of the keyboard is definitely constructed, I think, better than the actual screen itself. And that the screen actually has a bit glare to it. That is one thing I wasn't too happy about. So when you take the actual screen off of the keyboard, it does leave a little bit of a scratch and stuff like that. That's one thing I'm not gonna like too much about this. It just has that the scratches. You get that with most two in ones. You have two magnetic slots on each side, and then in the middle, right there, those pins will go in there, and that's your pretty much your connection. But those magnets actually hold it in there really well. So all in all, I really like this tablet versus the Fire, mainly because of the software. The RAM, however, really made a lot of things difficult, and I did not like that there's only 1 gigabyte of RAM on here, and I run out of RAM really easily, so I'm forced to close applications and stuff like that. Anyway, let me know what you think. Are you interested in buying something like this? Do you have a tablet that I may have overlooked? For a $149 Android tablet that's 11 inches, it's not too bad of a deal. So let's go ahead and I'm going to go back to my outro of this. And if you want to join the discussion, definitely put your comments below and we will discuss what you think about this tablet. So anyway, I want to thank everybody for watching this video. Make sure you hit that like button and definitely subscribe if you're new to the channel, and then hit that bell icon to make sure you get updates from me. Right now, I've only been doing every once or twice a week. I'm going to try to do a little bit more this week because my school and stuff like that is starting to get a little bit less intense like I did last week. There's just no way I could do it. I do have videos that are recorded for gaming. Remember, this is still a gaming channel. I do like doing the hardware uh, unboxing and stuff like that, and I definitely do a lot of the benchmarking. Benchmarking and gaming are some of the two things that I do the most. Building computers and stuff like that is another one. Anyway, you all have a great day and happy gaming.